bit of a reshuffle with the cars. Van's now out of the garage, so we can put the rep in the garage. Not going to be exactly spacious working conditions, but it'll have to do for now. Hopefully I can get it down the workshop at some point and start working on it down there. But I'm just going to try and tidy up some of this stuff, give me a bit more space, and then we'll pull the old go in. Welcome to Costa del Terry. This is the birthplace and home of all of my stupid ideas, so welcome along. Here we go, a few days have passed since I pulled these in, or pulled this one in, and I have tackled a little bit of stuff on this off camera, so let me first and foremost take you through that. Removed the spoiler, so that's now out the way. And I mean, go on, you probably know me by now. There's no way I was going to buy a Ford Escort that wasn't rotten. So we found this underneath the spoiler, lovely and crusty and rotten. Whether or not I can repair this, I don't know at this point. I'm hoping I might be able to repair it. But what I also found, let me grab a torch. Whoever's built this car, rather than grinding away all the fiberglass on the rear quarter panel, they've actually ground away all of that bit of the boot lid there, so you can actually see the two seams there, and obviously moisture's got inside that and started doing that no favours. So there's that. I just need to pick off all of this silicone that's around the windscreen now. Around the boot screen even, and then I can pull this perspex off. But it gets better than that. So I've started taking off the rear quarter panel because obviously it don't fit right, and we found this little delight. As you can see, that's not looking too bonny in the slightest. It goes down there a bit. I mean, I've peered down inside this panel and it's pretty decent down inside there, so I think what I'll have to do is cut up here, cut back here, and try and find a replacement panel bit to go in that. But that's where we're at so far. We've managed to unpick some of this and some of it down the door there, but the main reasoning behind doing this is because I don't know how much of that you're going to see. Whoever fitted this body kit didn't secure this rear quarter panel back to the car properly, and they filled it all in with expanding foams. Where the expanding foams expanded, it pushed this rear quarter panel away from the body of the car, which is probably why it's all started cracking and all that stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at with the rep so far. I need to take this rear quarter off, assess what the damage is beneath this. Hopefully it is just that bit there and the bit on the boot lid. God knows what we're going to find on the other side. Hopefully that'll be better. I mean, there is a little bit of rust coming through here as well, so yeah, we shall see. But obviously I'm in my garage, it's not exactly spacious in here, so I'm going to do my best to find a good spot to put the camera whilst I crack on with doing some of this stuff. I've spoken to John about getting this down the workshop at some point and put it where the starlet is, so I've just got to wait for the starlet to be finished up, and then we can move it down there and I can really sort of go to town on it. But yeah, just going to document everything I do on this. You can see that everything will be done properly come the end, and hopefully someone will end up with a really nice car once I've rebuilt it and raffled it off. I've already started investing in some new parts. So down here we've got some nice gas coilovers. These are actually for a Mark 6 model, so I just need to change the top hats and drill. Instead of having this hole here, you have one here and one here, but I'll address all that as and when I find some top hats for it. So that's where we stand with it. I should put you on the tripod and I'm going to keep plugging away at this rear quarter and see if we can get it off, hopefully in one piece. But worst case, I'll buy a new rear quarter panel, buy a new side skirt, and what I also found actually whilst we're here, there was no bottom to the front wing. So when I removed the side skirt, I found that little delight, so probably going to have to get a new front wing as well, but we shall see. Put you on the tripod. There we go, the only two proper fixings I've actually found in this entire kit so far. And I broke the brand new screwdriver. Right, we've got the car jacked up now on an axle stand. Safety first, don't be stupid and leave a car on a jack. Looking inside here, it don't look too sorry really. There's an Avo shock there. It is an adjustable damping one, so I don't know if anyone would be interested in these, but they will be for sale when I'm done with them and fitted the gas coilovers. There is a bit of a dodgy repair going on down there, so I'll need to investigate that a little more as and when I get some space. Definitely need some new rear discs on this because they look absolutely buggered. So probably new rear pads as well. I think all brake lines need to be renewed really and truly because they look crusty as anything. There's still a fuel filler neck in here for some reason. Don't quite know why, because there's no fuel tank underneath here. But again, that is something I want to address. I want to ideally get rid of that silly little thing in there and put a proper 40 litre fuel tank back underneath the car where it's meant to be. So that's the plan for that. But right, anyway, enough of me rambling on. I'm going to carry on trying to take this panel off. One quarter panel off and it's intact. Bloody marvellous. There you can see. Clearly done a thorough job of sticking this thing on the car, eh? Oh dear. Alright, let's have a look at the damage on the car. I'll be honest with you, it's not as bad as I was actually anticipating after seeing what we found over in that corner up there. Obviously the rear wheel arch is shot, that's fine, I can get a new panel for that. We've got a bit of surface rust all along here, little hole there, again, if I actually shine the camera on it, that'll probably be a good start. Yeah, so we've got a little hole there, obviously multiple holes all the way around the body where they've screwed the wide arch panel on, which is to be expected. So all round here, all screw holes, a little bit of fiberglass got left behind. I mean, I don't know what it is they stuck that on with, but it's not very strong. As you saw, I've just been pulling this off with a wallpaper scraper more or less. So yeah, that is the main offending article, which, although it's a pain in the backside, it's not the end of the world. I need to clean off all this muck down here, all this expanding foam nonsense, clean all that off, and I'm hoping that what's underneath that is going to be somewhat decent. So I'll scrape all that off and I'll show you what we come up with in a minute. Well, going to be a big bodywork guy come the end of this. Let's have a quick look. So now, correct me if I'm wrong, I've never fitted a kit like this before, but surely the stuff you stick your panel to needs to be solid, right? Not sort of like flaky and weird. I don't know, because none of this paint, you look at that, just flakes off. I mean, it clearly wasn't prepped right when it was painted for it to do that. So yeah, I mean, when I come to refit this, hopefully there's some people that do bodywork that can offer some advice. Is it better to sort of leave all this bare with a bit of etched prime around it where the mounting surface is, and then you put your glue, I don't know, presumably Tiger Seal, or someone recommended using some 3M panel bond stuff, but that is really expensive. But yeah, so would you leave like all round the edges where it meets with just a bit of etch primer on it, or would you paint the car first and then stick the panel to it? I don't know. Hopefully someone in the comments can give me a bit of advice on that one. But all of the paint underneath this panel is absolutely appalling. I'm going to try my best to sand it back with the very basic tools that I've got in my garage at the moment. But yeah, I'll get sanding and see how far we can get with it. I'm going to call it a night in about an hour's time, so we shall see. Let's bring you up to speed. So we've bare metaled most of it across the top here, all up round there, big dent in there, another one there. I mean, there's a few scattered around here, there and everywhere, but that's not really too much of a drama. It's taken absolutely ages. Thanks to that thing, I'll need a new backing pad for this, because it's not holding the sanding discs on, it just seems to spit them straight off. So I've been having to make do with this silly little thing. So dust absolutely everywhere, thick with dust. Could do with a hoover really to suck all this dust up whilst I'm sanding. So all this fiberglass and filler work seems to go up to about here. So I need to grind that back to bare metal. Carry on doing all of this, all down here, but all this here is quite pitted, and horrible. So I don't know if that could be treated or if I'm going to have to cut all this out and replace it for another piece. In an ideal world, I think what I need is a cut from another car from about here to about here, all the way down, so I can maybe piece that bit back in, make all this good. But I don't know. I mean, it's all quite pitted along here as well, so I mean, you tell me, is that treatable? Can I treat that and paint over it? I don't know. I'm not a bodywork man, but it's now 8 o'clock in the evening and those sanders are bloody loud, so rather than upset my neighbours, I'm going to clean some of this dust off here. We're going to lift the bonnet up, take the bumper off and make a start on removing this, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there's no delights hiding underneath that. So let's get cracking with that. That was way easier than I was expecting it to be. It turns out whoever built this wasn't building it to last, so it's not too shabby, to be fair. Needs a bit of cleaning up down here, bit of paint, that'll be all good. Again, clean that up there, give that a bit of paint. All down inside here is just typical Escort. Got a little bit of crust going on there, but it's not really that bad. Get the torch. So not exactly ideal for showing you this, but there's a bit of crust down there as well. Again, it's not terrible, and a bit more down there. Again, not terrible. I've certainly seen a lot worse on an Escort. So all down the A post is nice and square, and more importantly rot free. And the sill, although it looks like there's some filler on that as well, I'm hoping that was just from where someone had made the bottom of the side skirt up. So yeah, not too shabby. Front wing, although it's missing the bottom piece down there, I don't know why that was cut off. Someone's been in here and slapped a load of fiberglass or something, I don't really know what that is, all inside there. That's all been filled there. I think that's where, yeah, it looks like they filled that where, so on an original Cosworth you'd have a little grill piece that goes in here, but it looks like someone's filled that in on the back and put filler in all sorts of weird places. So I don't quite know what that's all about, but generally speaking, it's for the most part in one piece, and it's not a bad panel. So I have got the bit that goes on down here, so I might try and bond that back on myself. But like I say, worst case, I'll get a new wing and chuck that one in the bin. But we'll play that one by ear, see what happens. So I think next time I pick you up, I'll be armed with my sander with a proper backing plate, so I can actually sand this down properly. But yeah, I shall see you another day. hats off to you Bodywork guys, this is a chore, man. I've gone through God knows how many sanding discs, probably shortened my lifespan by 10 years from breathing in all the dust because I'm an idiot and I still haven't got a mask, but we're there. So for the most part this panel is now bare metal. There's a few little bits like in little divots and whatnot that I still need to sand out, but yeah, there's nothing to report on the rest of the panel besides all the bits I've already highlighted. So like I said previously, if anyone in the bodywork industry can give me any pointers or tips on what I can do with this, I mean obviously I need to cut that bit out and replace that, but and for the most part I think I need to really and truly cut all that out and replace that. But things like that, I'll try and pick it up the best I can on camera, it's all pitted and whatnot. So can I treat that and then just carry on, or do I need to ideally cut all that out and replace that? I don't know. So if there's any bodywork experts watching this, please tap in the comments and tell me what the hell I need to do with this, because I ain't got a bloody clue. So yeah, obviously we took the front wing off earlier, saw what was going on down there. All the front panel is pretty decent, just a bit of surface rust as you'd expect. So yeah, I think that's probably going to do us for this one. Now a lot of people, I can imagine, are going to be in the comments saying, oh it's scrap, why are you trying to repair it? Well, because it's an RS2000. There's not many of these things around anymore, and I'm quite guilty of stripping probably about 20 of these over the years, so I feel like I owe it to put it right and give it a new lease of life. But with that being said, I'm going to end it for this one. Hopefully next time you join me and I'll turn the car around and start attacking all this side. Hopefully that side's better than that side and we haven't got too many repairs to do. But anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Peace.